Welcome to Off the Charts, episode 147. Today is a couple of new stuff here I'm trying out. So I got a new camera, so bear with me here if I'm trying to fix the settings and all that here. So we'll see how it works out. Also, I'm putting some intro music to my videos going forward. So hopefully it will generate more traffic. Who knows, right? It's the content, though, that's important, right? Not all the bells and whistles. So I'll try to be as fun as before. So today's episode. Okay, first of all, thank you for all the watches from the last episode. That was great. So I thought I'd piggyback on that and finish off with my top 5 drummers of all time. Before I go into that, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe and tell your friends. Cheers to you all, by the way. Kept forgetting to do the ting last time with all the sips I've been having. Yeah, I'm a little red here today. I just came back from a round of golf. Plus, my dad's birthday weekend was a pretty busy weekend here. Long weekend, anyway. So, anyway, top 5 drummers. Now, before I start off with the drummers, bear in mind, some of these drummers you may be like, the hell is this guy doing in the top 5 or whatnot? Same with my guitarists. I'm pretty picky with my drummers. It's my choice, my likes, my dislikes, or whatever. It's not that I'm right or wrong. It's what I like in a drummer. So what I like in a drummer is like, you know what? If you're going to be doing blast beats for a whole fucking song, you're out. Okay. There's got to be some sort of good, anyway, we'll see if I like drummers that accentuate certain things, I guess. Stuffs, what the fuck is that? Certain things during a song, but they don't repeat it, so it makes it more noticeable. So anyway, we'll go into favorite drummers. So again, I'm going to do my top 5 drummers and 2 special or honorable mentions. Before we start off, cheers to these guys again. All right, number 5. Ask me this like 10 years ago, this guy would not have made the top 5. And it's dumb, the reasons why, but last couple of years, this guy has actually went up I've always found him good. So I'm talking about Rush's Neil Peart. I'm putting him number 5 only. My big beef, and I hate doing this, I hate bashing someone that's not here to defend themselves, especially if they're passed away. It's always bugged me that and it's stupid. I know it's stupid, guys, but he never smiles on stage. It's like, especially when you have Geddy and Alex always having fun, and this guy's always there serious, and I'm like, oh, it just always bugged me and rubbed me the wrong way. Now, when he's passed away, I was like, wow, did that day at work was friggin' ruined. I'm like, and I was starting to collect Rush on vinyl too, and I was having fun doing it too. That made it even more complicated once he passed away. But yes, he is fucking good. Yes, he is probably by far one of the better drummers out there. Was he my favorite? No. I'm not a huge, again, this is prog rock and again, major talent. It's not usually my thing, but it's when he passed away, I realized, I'm like, and especially when he passed away, I was like, wow, did that ever down the mood? And like my friend Beryl was there that day. I was like, well, today's shift is ruined. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I've been a little bit harsh on him. Anyway, that's the reason why, like I said, back then I wasn't into Neil Peart as much as I am now. I can appreciate his talent. Like I said, I wished he would smile more and like have some more fun. I remember my friend Pascal having seen him in Ottawa, and I think it was the last show of the tour, and goes, "Yeah, you could see him on his smile on his face that it was like the last show of the." I don't know, like that was my big beef with him there. Nothing against his talent or whatnot. So number 5, Neil Peart from Rush, who is actually very missed, and I'm gonna give a thumbs up to him recording the Hockey Night in Canada, which my nephew Jeremy or J Money loves. That was a great move. That was a great song, and I've actually downloaded the MP3. I actually love that thing. So hats off. All right, that was number 5. Number 4 would be Saxon's Nigel Glockler. Now, he kind of went and he joined Saxon when they were kind of going a little downhill, like a lot, and but his drumming was always that what actually got me kept me interested in the 80s and 90s Saxon. He's got this, he'll put these little touches. I'm like, okay, look what he did at, a 1 minute 47 to 1 minute 52. Like these little things, they're brilliant stuff. I'm like, who the fuck does that? Like, who thinks that up there? So, yeah, like Nigel Glockler from Saxon, easily, like number 4. Super talented. I saw him live, got to meet him backstage, and I actually told him, says, "You're one of my favorite drummers there." And he's like, "Oh my God, thank you." And he came back from, was it a brain aneurysm, or I forget what happened, but we almost lost him. And like we talked about that when we had the backstage passes there. So he's very happy to be alive. But yeah, I told him, says, "You're one of my favorite drummers, and your drum licks are." Again, it's not because what I like is not repetitive. He puts these little things that are very noticeable. Someone does double bass for like 3 minutes and a half. I'm gonna get tired of that. But he'll put little things that I'm like, oh, that was cool. That was cool. That was cool, Stuff like that. Anyway, Nigel Glockler, number 4 from Saxon. All right. Number 3, Alex Van Halen. I'm just gonna say it like that. Sorry. Oh my God, I'm looking at my face. It's all red from the sun today. Ooh, tomorrow's gonna suck. All right. Yeah, Alex Van Halen from Van Halen. That's actually just realized that's the only band he's ever been in. So yeah, I loved back in the Fair Warning. I remember seeing the video with 4 bass drums on the front. Whether he used them all, that's to be only he can let me know there. But great showmanship. And but what I liked about him was when he introduced in the mid 80s, the end of David Lee Roth and the beginning of Sammy Hagar, where he had acoustic drums, but he had little electronic drums. So there was a mix of the two, and I thought that he was actually the best at bringing both. Like if you listen to the song, let's say "Good Enough" by Van Halen, on the first Sammy Hagar, listen to the drums on that, and you can definitely hear. I guess they're called acoustic drum. Your normal drums versus your rectangular ones there from electronic ones there. But yeah, I'm going to say Alex Van Halen. He brought this new sound. Well, first of all, like whether the beginning of Hot for Teacher, whether that's studio play or can actually play that thing. He's done some great stuff live. I've seen him live three times. Yeah, I've seen Van Halen live 3 times. Yeah, again, not in their heyday, but even when you listen to the albums, there's some pretty cool. Again, like Nigel Glockler, he'll put little hints here and there. Like when he does his drum rolls with electronic drum set and then ends on an acoustic one. I love that. And you'll Bobby Blotzer from Rat does that also on your Invasion of Your Privacy album. It's got some mix of electronic and which is done very well. So anyway, that's what I liked about Alex Van Halen. He brought some cool stuff to drumming, mixing electronic and acoustic drums. So number 3, Alex Van Halen from Van Halen. Number 2, who has this guy not drummed for? I'm going to go with the drummer who I feel seems to drum the most calmly. Everything seems to flow. I'm going to go with Eric Singer. Badlands, Lita Ford, Black Sabbath 7-star album, Kiss, Alice Cooper. Am I missing something there from him there? And on this list, he's probably the drummer I've seen the most live, it being Kiss and Alice Cooper right there. And I'm just watching him, and he's just making it sound like almost like he's like, not bored, but like, this is so easy. I can do this in my sleep, like I am doing right now. And I remember I saw Alice Cooper live. It was for his, it was back at the NEC in Ottawa. I guess it was for the Last Temptation tour. And they played Halo Flies for the first time ever. And the drums on that middle part, I was like, whoa, this is so fucking cool. Anyway, I got to meet him a couple of times. Great guy. He is getting, shit for replacing Peter Criss. But you know what? Like, it's at this point, guys, who fucking cares? Sorry. There's a lot of pollen and dust rolling around the golf course today. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to pay for that today or tonight or tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, I've always loved Eric Singer's playing. He just makes it look so easy and so smooth, so effortlessly. There you go. That's the word I was looking for 5 minutes ago. Way to go, Dan. So anyway, last one. And this is my top drummer of all time. If you guys know me, you may know this, but some people may be shocked. I'm talking about Wingers, Rod Morgenstein. He's also been in the Dixie Dregs, and I think he's the one that kind of pushes the band a little bit musically towards progressive. He puts in his films. I'm just like, if you're ever bored of listening, let's say, to a song because you know it, every beat, every lick, every bass lick, every guitar lick, every vocal, listen to some Winger songs and listen to the drums, and I bet you'll discover something new every time you're listening, at them. First of all, I saw Winger twice live, and by far on the Winger in the Heart of the Young tour when they opened for Kiss with Slaughter, was the best drum solo I've ever seen. That was so freaking cool. And you see some... I've started to get into the Dixie Dregs there, but that's like, it's another thing there. But like the drumming on Winger there is like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like, it's like listening to something new every time you're hearing a Winger song. You think, and I don't know. The guy just he's got these friggin'. I'm like, who the hell thinks to put that during that 4-bar thing? He'll put something in 8/7, like. Sorry. Anyway, I just think the guy's amazing on drums. So, cheers to you, Rod. I'm hoping to see them live on their 7 tour because that album is great there. But anyway, yeah, Rod Morgenstein, my favorite drummer. Sorry, my favorite drummer. So there you go. Those are my top 5. So number 5, Neil Peart. Nigel Glockler, number 4 from Saxon, Alex Van Halen from Van Halen, Eric Singer from lots of people, and of course Rod Morgenstein from Winger, and also the Dixie Dregs. Well, there you go. Now, here come the honorable mentions. These will be a little bit weird, I think. There, first honorable mention would be Clive Burr from Iron Maiden. My mom bought me that Number of the Beast album, and it's one of my favorite records of all time. Okay, I loved everything about that album, like everything. I fucking loved that album. Okay, now I remember we were on a road trip and we stopped at this fucking gas station. I don't know where the hell we were. I know the town, Temagami. I know that part. And I'm looking, was it a restaurant or a truck stop or whatever? But there was these cassettes. I'm looking, I'm like, was it cassettes or LPs? I forget. Has to be LPs because I remember looking, I'm like, peace of mind. I'm like, oh my God, they have a new album out. And I remember turning the cover and I'm looking at the band members' pictures. And I'm like, who the fuck is Nico McBrain? Where the hell is Clive Burr? That was back in 83, I guess. I was 11 years old. I was fucking pissed off that Clive Burr was no longer in Iron Maiden and he had replaced this guy with a fucking nose like this flat. Who, by the way, if you listen to his drumming on records or live, don't bother using a metronome. It's not going to fucking match. But I'm sorry. When it comes to Maiden, I am pro Clive Burr. And a lot of people seem to like Nico McBrain. I don't. Sorry, I don't. Clive Burr had this friggin'. It's like it was like a lot of people know Maiden songs about galloping. You could feel Clive Burr galloping on those drums. So anyway, that's one of my top honorable mentions there. And of course, he also did Desperado with Dee Snider. That's another great album that probably nobody's ever heard of. That's another story for another time there. And second honorable mention, I've loved this. I've liked this band for 10, 20 years. I've actually loved them in the last 3-4 years. I'm talking about Gilmour from Triumph. And at first I was like, oh my God, there's something, this guy's drumming is like, yeah, but I'm like, you know what, guys sing at the same time. And then I really, really got into Triumph in the last 2 years and that documentary. Again, if you haven't seen the Triumph documentary, go fucking listen to it, man. It's that good. Anyway, I'm listening to the drums now on these old records, and I'm like, holy shit! Like this guy was actually very good. I remember having a conversation with my friend Steph, saying he's got no feel, and I'm like, you know what? I was an idiot for thinking that at the same. Sorry, at the time. So I was like, you know what, Gilmour, fuck, Gilmour's gonna suck. Anyway, Gilmour from Triumph, hats off to you. You've I've done a total new respect for Gilmour on drums here, frontman, drummer, and vocalist at the same time. And it's like, I'm hoping at least a farewell tour, like a proper farewell tour. You know what? If it's just 3 Canadian cities with his Toronto, Ottawa, and none of it, I don't fucking care where you go. Just make a friggin' last farewell tour. It would be, whether it's a fucking bar, I'll go. Like I'll pay. Anyway, so that's my list, guys. There we go. So those are my top 5 drummers of all time, and also my 2 honorable mentions. I've absolutely loved the comments in the last episode about my top 5 guitarists, and I love you guys chiming in on this. Chime in with this one here too. I've told you guys, like I said, the type of drummer that I like is not doesn't need to be uber talented. Like, I know I forgot John Bonham. I've only started to like Led Zeppelin the last 2 years. To me, that's a reason why I can't put John Bonham yet. I'm just starting to like Led Zeppelin. Like ever since I started collecting vinyl, I bought bands that I've never thought I'd be buying there. But anyway, stuff like that, like the Stuart Copeland from the Police. Love his playing. Just I've had greatest hits for like the longest time of the Police, but starting to get their albums of late. Stuff like that. There's a reason why certain drummers haven't been mentioned in this episode. So be gentle. Those are my top 5 drummers and what I look for in a drummer if I was like, in a band. I don't care if you can play a million notes. Can you play the song? Like, are you here for the song or are you here for yourself? That's the main thing. Are you here to just show off to the world how good you are? Or are you here for the song? That's, to me, that's a big deal. And I think some drummers sometimes forget that part. So anyway, on that note, thank you guys for watching. And we shall see you guys next episode. Hopefully this new camera does the trick and new song at the beginning does the trick too. Have yourselves a great whatever, and we shall see you guys next time. Take care and thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.